the crocodile. Yet one of the most revealing chapters of his presidency is not defined by what he did, but by what he consciously chose not to do after November 2017. Sadapena mashoko budanyu kwa pangwa ina yachinzi how Mnangagwa treated the Mugabe family and why it matters. Please subscribe or like on the bell icon. Timda pana papa the news also in Chiti. Specifically, it lies in his treatment of Robert Mugabe, Grace, and the Mugabe family after the coup following Mugabe's death. This is an area curiously absent from the most political commentary, perhaps because it does not fit neatly into prevailing caricature, but examined carefully, it offers a rare window into Mnangagwa's political character, his moral code, and his strategic instincts. The starting point is Grace Mugabe. Few figures in recent Zimbabwean history were as politically exposed after 2017. Allegations against her ranged from corruption and abuse of diplomatic privilege to illicit foreign currency dealings and violent conduct. Politically, she had been at the center of the G40 faction that orchestrated Mnangagwa's dismissal and forced flight from Zimbabwe. If ever there was a case where vacancy could be dressed up as justice, this was it. What is often forgotten is the degree of personal humiliation Grace Mugabe inflicted on Mnangagwa in the final days of G40C ascendancy. From the public rallies, where she mocked him by name, to speeches in which she portrayed him as a disloyal, power-hungry, and unfit to lead, Grace weaponized the First Lady's platforms with unusual ferocity. She openly celebrated his dismissal, taunted his allies, and helped create an atmosphere in which his physical safety was plausibly at risk. This was not quietly factional maneuvering, it was theatrical, public, and deliberately degrading. Few politicians subjected to that level of ridicule by First Lady go on to show restraint once the balance of power shifts, yet no prosecution followed, not immediately. Robert Mugabe himself was treated with a level of dignity and that many of his critics would never have extended to him. Under 2017, he was not imprisoned, humiliated, or placed on trial. He remained free. He continued to receive medical treatment abroad. He was not compelled to confess, repent, or perform a ritual of political self-abasement. Mnangagwa allowed him to live out his final years as a retired former head of state rather than disgraced captive. This posture was reinforced by official rhetoric. Mugabe was never stripped of his liberation credentials. The state did not seek to erase him from history or recast the liberation struggle is something that occurred in spite of him. Public language remained measured. Continuity was emphasized over rupture. Within ZANU-PF and the broader Southern Africa region, where liberation legitimacy still carries deep symbolic weight. This was a significant signal when Mugabe died in 2019. Mnangagwa's choice became even more revealing. He declared Mugabe a national hero. State mourning rituals were facilitated. Thomas Konuya Pangwa ajitsanangura how Mnangagwa treated the Mugabe family and why that matters. Pita comment section medunza funguro emoto kulipa mzee page it. So subscribe or like, chat on the bell icon.